Time is precious, but truth is more precious than time. Do not read history. Read biography, for it is life without theory. The best way to become acquainted with a subject is to write about it. Youth is a blunder, manhood a struggle, old age a regret. The greatest good you can do for another is not just share your riches, but to reveal to him his own. Desperation is sometimes as powerful an inspirer as genius. All is mystery, but he is a slave who will not struggle to penetrate the dark veil. Life is too short to be little. Never apologize for showing feeling. When you do so, you apologize for the truth. Nothing in life is more remarkable than the unnecessary anxiety which we endure and generally create ourselves. Most people die with their music still locked up inside them. Talk to a man about himself and he will listen for hours. How much easier it is to be critical than to be correct. Experience is the child of thought, and thought is the child of action. To be conscious that you are ignorant is a great step to knowledge. The world is governed by very different personages from what is imagined by those who are not behind the scenes. The secret to success is constancy of purpose. As a rule, he or she who has the most information will have the greatest success in life. Action may not always bring happiness, but there is no happiness without action. Ignorance never settles a question. The secret of success in life is for a man to be ready for his opportunity when it comes. The most dangerous strategy is to jump a chasm in 2 leaps. Like all great travelers, I have seen more than I remember and remember more than I have seen. Man is not the creature of circumstances, circumstances are the creatures of men. Little things affect little minds. Silence is the mother of truth. The magic of first love is our ignorance that it can ever end. What we learn from history is that we do not learn from history. One of the hardest things in this world is to admit you are wrong. And nothing is more helpful in resolving a situation than its frank admission. Patience is a necessary ingredient of genius. Nurture your mind with great thoughts, for you will never go any higher than you think. Upon the education of the people of this country, the fate of this country depends. 2 possibilities exist. Either we are alone in the universe or we are not. Both are equally terrifying. If one's different, one's bound to be lonely. Remember, the time you feel lonely is the time you most need to be by yourself. Life's cruelest irony. A great fire burns within me, but no one stops to warm themselves at it, and passers-by only see a wisp of smoke. The worst part of holding the memories is not the pain. It's the loneliness of it. Memories need to be shared. How we need another soul to cling to. Nobody likes being alone that much. I don't go out of my way to make friends, that's all. It just leads to disappointment. I want to be with those who know secret things or else alone. Music was my refuge. I could crawl into the space between the notes and curl my back to loneliness. There is a loneliness in this world so great that you can see it in the slow movement of the hands of a clock. All I ever wanted was to reach out and touch another human being, not just with my hands but with my heart. I'll never forget how the depression and loneliness felt good and bad at the same time. Still does. If you're lonely when you're alone, you're in bad company. When you have nobody you can make a cup of tea for, when nobody needs you, that's when I think life is over. Solitude is fine, but you need someone to tell that solitude is fine. Maybe everybody in the whole damn world is scared of each other. It would be too easy to say that I feel invisible. Instead, I feel painfully visible and entirely ignored. All great and precious things are lonely. The only time we waste is the time we spend thinking we are alone. Being alone never felt right. Sometimes it felt good, but it never felt right. Some people are just not meant to be in this world. It's just too much for them. The trouble is not that I am single and likely to stay single, but that I am lonely and likely to stay lonely. Even for me, life had its gleams of sunshine. When the snows fall and the white winds blow, the lone wolf dies but the pack survives. It's weird to feel like you miss someone you're not even sure you know. The most terrible poverty is loneliness and the feeling of being unloved. May came home with a smooth round stone as small as a world and as large as a loan. We live as we dream. Alone. I'm not much, but I'm all I have. Sex is the consolation you have when you can't have love. I was always holding on to people, and they were always leaving. I am alone, I thought, and they are everybody. If a man cannot understand the beauty of life, it is probably because life never understood the beauty in him. Everything comes if a man will only wait. Man is only great when he acts from passion. The European talks of progress because by the aid of a few scientific discoveries he has established a society which has mistaken comfort for civilization. The wisdom of the wise and the experience of ages may be preserved by quotations. We are all born for love. It is the principle of existence and its only end. There is no education like adversity. My idea of an agreeable person is a person who agrees with me. What is earnest is not always true. On the contrary, Error is often more earnest than truth. Romance has been elegantly defined as the offspring of fiction and love. It is well known what a middleman is. He is a man who bamboozles one party and plunders the other. Where knowledge ends, religion begins. Grief is the agony of an instant. The indulgence of grief is the blunder of life. England is governed not by logic but by Parliament. It destroys one's nerves to be amiable every day to the same human being. Beware of endeavoring to become a great man in a hurry. One such attempt in 10,000 may succeed. These are fearful odds. Through perseverance, many people win success out of what seemed destined to be certain failure. Political life must be taken as you find it. An author who speaks about their own books is almost as bad as a mother who speaks about her own children. If you wish to win a man's heart, allow him to confute you. Every man has a right to be conceited until he is successful. A consistent man believes in destiny, a capricious man in chance. He who gains time gains everything. Predominant opinions are generally the opinions of the generation that is vanishing. I feel a very unusual sensation. If it is not indigestion, I think it must be gratitude. We live in an age where to be young and to be indifferent can no longer be synonymous. There is no index of character as sure as the voice. Nothing can resist a human will that will stake its existence on a purpose. When I want to read a good book, I write one. Quote. Depression on my left, loneliness on my right. They don't need to show me theater badges. I know these guys very well. Some nights are made for torture, or reflection, or the savoring of loneliness. If you smile when you are alone, then you really mean it. Loneliness adds beauty to life. It puts a special burn on sunsets and makes night air smell better. When so many are lonely as seem to be lonely, it would be inexcusably selfish to be lonely alone. Loneliness is the poverty of self. Solitude is richness of self. To forget a friend is sad. Not everyone has had a friend. My imagination makes me human and makes me a fool. It gives me all the world and exiles me from it. That's love. Two lonely persons keep each other safe and touch each other and talk to each other. Where all islands shouting lies to each other across seas of misunderstanding. I have heard the mermaids singing, each to each. I do not think that they will sing to me. The loneliness you feel with another person, the wrong person, is the loneliest of all. And he looked lonely enough that she said, "If you like, you could be my friend." But nothing makes a room feel emptier than wanting someone in it. Be good and you will be lonesome. The real loneliness is living among all these kind people who only ask one to pretend. Loneliness becomes an acid that eats away at you. Sometimes I get real lonely sleeping with you. My loneliness was born when men praised my talkative faults and blamed my silent virtues. Because, once alone, it is impossible to believe that one could ever have been otherwise. Loneliness is an absolute discovery. I am lonely, yet not everybody will do. I don't know why. Some people fill the gaps and others emphasize my loneliness. When we are most alone is when we embrace another's loneliness. The trap is loneliness, and none of us escapes it. Not even me. If you are alone for a long time, soon you will no longer need anyone's company. The opposite of loneliness is not togetherness, it's intimacy. When a man is one of a kind, he will be lonely wherever he is. I am lonely, sometimes, but I dare say it's good for me. Jamie enjoyed solitude, but loneliness was a constant ache.